Okay. Alright, cool. Hi guys, and welcome to Word of the Day Wednesdays. My name is Nicole D. Miller, author of Stories for the Urban Soul, a compilation of short stories, novellas, and poetry depicting Black characters dealing with relatable life issues, from heartbreak to parenting to social injustices to relationships, friendships, college life, a variety of topics infusing spirituality, so faith-based, encouraging, hope-filled. To learn more, go to NicoleDMiller.com. So you guys know every Wednesday I do Word of the Day Wednesdays, where I piggyback off of my latest blog. This week, the blog post was The Greater Plan. And so this was definitely an intimate piece for me. I shared somewhat last week about a dear friend passing suddenly in our community, dealing with that and processing that. So I kind of used my blog to continue my processing. Just shared about attending the funeral and emotional, things that happened during that time. And we can all relate. If we can't relate now, I'm sure there will be opportunity to in life, where things happen suddenly and they catch us off guard, and those are hard things. So I talk about that in the blog, just about how we can have this idea of life and then something suddenly happens to kind of shift our idea, and we don't even realize that we have idealism at work, right, in our psyche, or just projecting people and things into our future that don't come to pass. And how do we process that? And I talk about my blog how when I was younger and I was in school, I had a professor. Now this is kind of crazy, but I had a professor ask me, why do bad things happen to good people? And that's like an age-old question, right? And as a 19-year-old, I don't know if I really have the answer to that, and I don't even know if I do as an almost 40-year-old. But what I do know is that bad things do happen, but what I've witnessed is supernatural strength for people who believe and people of faith. And I've witnessed this over and over again and have been the recipient of it over and over again, where there is an empowerment for us to go through these hard things. And that's the part that I got to see this weekend. That's the part that I've been privy to and own my own difficulties, where I know there is a creator who cares. Even though these things are hard, we are strengthened through them. And so if you can relate, check out my blog post at NicoleDMiller.com. I hope it offers you some type of comfort, some type of encouragement. Thank you guys for joining, just dialoguing about the latest blog post, and just even as I process one of my spiritual mothers that recently, transitioned, and just finding the peace and comfort in my community during this time. So we all go through difficult things. We all go through hard things. And I think there's beauty when we're able to come together and be a support for one another. Unfortunately, sometimes it takes those hard things for us to come together, but at least that's one positive that comes out of it. And a friend of mine actually just recently said to me, it's unfortunate that sometimes we learn and grow the most when we're in pain. And I can definitely relate to that statement. I feel like so much of my writing has been birthed out of pain. Even when I wrote my first book, How to Overcome Heartbreak, that was a time of total devastation in my young adult life. But there was so much beauty and purpose on the other side of that, and my writing is a part of that as well. Even with Stories for the Urban Soul, I wrote this after my mom transitioned, and it was a time for me to heal and grow and process. So I can definitely resonate to how beauty can come from ashes, and I just want to offer other people encouragement in that regard as well. So again, to learn more, go to NicoleDMiller.com. In other news, I am making headway with the novel, you guys. I'm so excited. If you follow me on Facebook, you'll probably have seen a little post I put up. I just finished one set of editing. I really wanted to incorporate real life details from the New York, New Jersey area. So my characters are located in Jersey and they commute to New York. So if you saw me post a few weeks ago that I was in New York, that was why. I was literally doing market research and I was traveling and taking these routes, and I got on the train and I was like super scared about the train. Thanks, Marlia. I just washed my hair 2 days ago. And so I got on the train. I did get lost once, but I was determined to keep it moving. So I feel like I conquered the New York train system in New York called the MTA and the New Jersey Transit, because I had to get on that too. So look at me, right? And I made it here safely. So a lot of people were concerned, but I made it. So long story short, I did an edit with my novel, just putting these details in with New York, New Jersey references. So I did that. Now I'm on another slew of edits, but in the next week, I want it to be final, and we're going to be launching the pre-sale soon. So I have my IT team working hard on that. Stay tuned for a coupon for the pre-sale. If you're on my email list, definitely tap into that coupon. So go to NicoleDMiller.com and subscribe. It'll say join our newsletter. That's where you'll subscribe. I also will have a free preview of the novel to my email subscribers. So again, subscribe. And we just have a lot of good stuff coming with this novel. I feel like every book, I kind of ramp it up with my marketing strategy and what I'm tapping into as far as branding. For Stories for the Urban Soul, I created a whole new website, How to Overcome Heartbreak. Both the How to Overcome Heartbreak books, they were more about the books, but the Stories for the Urban Soul was more about being as an author. So branching out into Nicole D. Miller, the author. Don't forget the D. Speaking of that, if you're in the Cleveland area, I will be at Roasted Tremont in Tremont this Saturday from 11 to 2. They have really great coffee, you guys, and I believe they were voted number 3 in Cleveland for the best coffee. So I'll be there 11 to 2 this Saturday, October 15th. Check my Instagram for the deets. Go to my link tree and you'll see it there. And then, this is definitely a special announcement. Some of you guys probably were looking forward to our open mic, but we're actually going to be postponed. We're going to postpone the open mic. So it won't be this Tuesday. It won't be next Tuesday. So stay tuned for a future date for our open mic. And then honestly, I'm really just trying to stay low-key the rest of the month. Everything is focusing on the novel, getting the graphics, getting the editing done, getting the pre-sale out, working on the audio. Let you guys know there is going to be an audio version for this book. So that's another way where I'm just kind of ramping things up, right? So it's really cool to kind of be on this journey and see how everything unfolded. You may have caught that we just celebrated our 10-year blog anniversary. It was so funny. People were wishing me a happy anniversary. I'm like, okay, really? But we did celebrate a blog anniversary. So let's call it a blog anniversary of 10 years. And it's so wild to read my very first post, which of course was about relationship stuff, like of course. And it's still out there, betterthanwine.net. It's just all of the articles are now linked to NicoleDMiller.com. So that's where you would go to read. But 10 years. It's been 10 years in the making, and so much has transpired, especially this last year. The publishing company is launching. Now I'm becoming a novelist. I also offer one-on-one coaching. So you can also go to my link tree on Instagram for one-on-one coaching. We can do a 45-minute consultation, sit down, hear where you are as a writer, hear your goals to become a published author, and strategize and give you those next steps to what you need to do to implement your dream and manifest it. So I think that's all that I have for you guys. Thanks for tuning in to Word of the Day Wednesdays. I appreciate all of the support, you guys. So thank you again, and I will see you next week.